Welcome back to BikeRide.com reviews. I'm your host Scott, and today we're going to look at something a little different than the e-bikes that we usually review. If you're looking for something a little more stable than a bicycle, then the emergence of E-Trikes is paving a new path for electric mobility options. Today, we're going to look at the Mooncool TK1 and see how this 500-watt E-Trike will compare. I know that personally, I haven't ridden a three-wheeled vehicle in a long time. So what will the ride quality and style be like? Let's take the TK1 out for a ride and find out. As always, before I get the review going full throttle, if you love the videos that we make here at BikeRide.com and you want to see more from us, please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us grow, so leave me a comment and come on over to BikeRide.com to learn more about great e-bikes and bikes. The team at BikeRide.com want to bring you the best info possible and make sure that you love the bike that you choose and your daily ride. So speaking of that, let's get out and ride this trike. What is the Mooncool TK1 electric trike? Well, Mooncool began selling e-bikes and e-trikes after its inception in 2021. It's since been expanded to a lineup of 3 different e-trikes and 2 e-bikes. The TK1 is a folding e-trike with a single-speed drivetrain, 500-watt motor, and 3-inch wide wheels. The TK1 comes equipped with 2 large baskets, which fit on the front and the back of the trike. Combined, they can hold a large volume of cargo. However, the bike can only support a payload of 350 pounds, including the rider and that cargo. The unique 3-wheel design is very stable, when you're riding the bike at low speeds at least, or while you're loading cargo, with the bike held with its locking brakes. The bike's top speed is 16 miles per hour, which may seem slow, and after my first ride, I'll admit I was happy to be riding a little bit slower on this 3-wheeled unit. The bike definitely has a different ride style and experience than a traditional bike or an e-bike. While it requires little work to balance on level ground, riding it over bumps and uneven ground can quickly cause the trike to lean and pitch, especially for taller riders like myself. Combined with its single-speed drivetrain, how is this bike going to perform during our range and hill tests? Let's move into the pro and con to find out more. Our first pro for this bike is the balance. The 3-wheeled trike offers excellent stability during slow riding over level ground, or while you're loading the trike with cargo. Due to its balance and ride style, those who are not inclined to ride a bike may enjoy the trike experience. The trike can also be used as a type of mobility helper and utility vehicle, due to this balanced and easy to mount nature, which really makes it easy to load cargo, mount, and ride. The second pro for this is the cargo space. The TK1 offers 2 large cargo baskets, one on the rear and another at the front, and it has lots of space for cargo. It's really very easy to load, with its stable 3-wheel design and that low rear cargo platform. The locking brakes also hold the trike securely, adding extra security and support while parking or mounting the trike. The rear rack also comes with a cargo net, which allows you to secure items in the rack for your ride. The third pro is that throttle-only range. I found that the TK1 was pretty unpleasant to pedal at that top speed of 16 miles per hour or even lower speeds. The TK1 took this con and really turned it into a pro because its battery supports a great throttle-only range. The bike could travel over 30 miles using very little pedal power, which is a good range for that 14.5 amp hour battery. The first con for this bike was that ride quality. And while the TK1 was easily balanced on level ground, the ride quality quickly deteriorated in other circumstances. The trike ride experience is pretty strange for those who are accustomed to riding a bike. I first noticed how riding the trike over different pitches could easily cause the trike to jerk side to side. This increased width and wheelbase in the rear causes the trike to shift and make you feel uncentered and off balance on different terrain. This was uncomfortable, and it required the bike to be ridden at slower speeds. Some care should be taken when riding over uneven surfaces so that you don't kind of tilt over. I also found that when we were riding at a slightly horizontal angle on the trike, the brake rotors would rub, causing squeaking and noise. This seemed to be caused by my weight reacting with the trike's frame and the riding angle, which caused the angle of the single rear brake rotor to change and rub. I really didn't enjoy the way that the trike rode and pedaled, and I think that you can find the same cargo capacity and capability from an e-bike if you don't require that balance assistance. The TK1 trike is a large unit. It has the largest footprint and heaviest total weight of any trike that we've tested in the video reviews so far. It comes in at almost 100 pounds, and the bike is challenging to lift and it requires a large footprint for storage. While the bike can be moved into a large SUV or a truck in its folded state, I really didn't find it comfortable to do so. It also is not going to fit into a traditional bike rack because of those 3 wheels, so transporting this trike can be challenging. The bike size is also an issue when you're riding, as it takes up nearly twice the space on the sidewalk or the road. This caused me some problems while riding, as tighter roads put me closer to other vehicles. Finally, when it comes to parking and storage, the large trike takes up twice the space of an e-bike, even taking into consideration that folding option. The heavy weight also makes lifting the unit challenging, and this means you're going to need ground level storage for the trike to make it viable. And the third con for this trike was pedaling. The single speed drivetrain on the TK1 was really only enjoyable to pedal at low speeds. I found it was really very easy to exceed the comfortable pedal speed, which forced me to pedal at a high, uncomfortable cadence at most times. The bike would definitely benefit from some additional gearing, mainly to assist with that pedal cadence that's required for any riding over approximately 10 miles per hour. The single-speed 36-tooth chainring and 18-tooth gearing is simply not comfortable for pedaling, with almost no resistance felt at most speeds. So what does it do best? Well, the Mooncool TK1 trike is easy to balance, and it's perfect for those who want to avoid dealing with only 2 wheels. The large cargo area and stable platform allow the trike to act more like a mobility vehicle or utility carrier, and you can easily load and mount the bike while it's in that stable and fixed position with the locking brakes. Its 30-mile range at maximum assistance is great to see for this bike, since pedaling that heavy 97-pound bike is not enjoyable with the single-speed drivetrain. This allows several hours of power at top speed for most users, or enough power to putt around all day at lower assist levels. So what are some reasons to look elsewhere? Well, the trike's large size, heavy weight, and increased footprint made it a less desirable unit than most e-bikes that I've found. With a payload of 350 pounds total, you can find other e-bikes with similar cargo capabilities. I found that the decrease in mobility and top speed took away from any additional comfort that large cargo area offered. I found the trike was pretty unpleasant to ride over uneven terrain, and changes in angle while riding were really quickly felt, causing you to lean and totter on the trike as it moved along. The large width of the trike was a nuisance, both on the sidewalk and the road. It really takes up most of the space on sidewalks and bike paths, leaving little for other pedestrians and cyclists. And the same applies to the road, where the wide trike caused me to feel more exposed to vehicles while riding on roads with thin shoulders. The trike is also less comfortable to corner than a bike, since you can't lean into the unit while you turn. Turns, like general riding, are going to have to be taken more slowly, and this ensures that you don't lose control and fall off the unit. Moving into the frame and geometry, the TK1 has an aluminum folding frame with a deep step through. It folds at the center and just above the head tube to reduce space for storage or travel. The bike has an adjustable seat post and handlebar, which allow you to tune the bike to match the rider's height better. This assists with the trike's large height range. The bike also has a front and a rear basket, which are well integrated into the trike's frame. The rear basket is low to the ground, allowing easy loading and travel. The trike has lots of cargo space and also occupies a large footprint. Its total payload is 350 pounds, including rider and cargo. And this seems kind of low when I see other e-bikes with 2 wheels and similar cargo capacities. The trike was very interesting to ride due to that large wheelbase, which caused the bike to pitch and lean as it traveled over different angles. I didn't really enjoy pedaling or cornering on the trike, and if I had my choice, I would prefer to ride an e-bike over an E-Trike. Moving into the measurements for the TK1, we have a seat tube measurement of 17 inches, a reach measurement of 13.5 inches, stack measurement of 19 inches, standover height of 16 inches, a virtual top tube length of 30 inches, a saddle height minimum of 30.3 inches, and a saddle height max of 39 inches, a wheelbase of 36 inches, and a total length of 66 inches, with a total width of 29 inches. And the recommended rider height is 5 feet to 6 feet 3. The TK1 is controlled using its 3-button control pad, which is integrated into that 2.5-inch LCD display. This control pad has a mode, up and down button. And on the right side of the bars, you have a turn signal and a horn. You turn the trike on by pressing and holding that mode button, which is going to activate it. The up and down buttons will change the pedal assist level, giving you 5 levels of assist. The main display shows your current power output as a bar graphic, as well as your current speed, battery level, assist level, and an information section showing the odometer currently. Pressing the mode button changes this info section from the odometer, cycling through trip odometer, voltage, output current, and a timer. The battery level is shown as a 6-bar graphic, with no option for a percentage. During use, the battery and display had a consistent taper as it declined, which was reliable and it didn't fluctuate, which was great for gauging how much you had left in the tank. The 500-watt motor on the TK1 has a torque output of 55 Newton meters, combined with the single-speed drivetrain. The trike was a bit slow to climb steep hills, relying heavily on the motor for power. The 500-watt motor is controlled by a 24-magnet cadence sensor, which does a good job of getting the motor started quickly, sometimes a little bit too quickly. Despite the relatively low torque output, the bike could still be too quick to accelerate sometimes, causing a little bit of jerking. The trike went from 0 to 16 miles per hour in 12 seconds with throttle only and 10 seconds with pedal assist level 5. It's kind of tough to compare this to other e-bikes because the trike can only go 16 miles per hour at its top speed with no unlockable option. The trike is in general a slow rider, and the motor had enough pep to push it along consistently at that 16 mile per hour top speed limit. It's no speed demon, but it matches the bike's capability pretty well. The motor was powerful enough to climb our medium hill climb, which features a 12-degree incline, but it did so in one of the slowest times, which is pretty typical for a single-speed unit. The trike completed the small hill climb in 3 minutes and 58 seconds with an average speed of 15 miles per hour. And it completed the medium hill climb in 3 minutes at an average speed of 13.1 miles per hour. I would not recommend this bike for consistent long-range riding, but for trips to a local grocery store or for use as a utility helper, it's definitely good enough. The motor and battery are well paired on this unit, with a 500-watt motor and a 48-volt 696 watt-hour battery. The battery and bike are each UL certified. During the range test, the bike managed to go 30.53 miles, with 1,004 feet of elevation at 14.2 miles per hour average, which was pretty impressive. It was able to push almost to 30 miles in the range test using only the throttle. This was great because I really didn't enjoy pedaling the bike. The battery also had a reliable taper and it reduced in a measured manner, which was great since it made estimating the total range left easier. The TK1 didn't have much of a low battery warning. After reaching a single battery bar, the motor began to reduce power until the bike was moving at a very slow rate of speed. The battery is located behind the seat. To remove, you first unlock the battery using the key and locate it on the left side of the battery. Then the battery can be lifted to remove it from the locking rails and take it off the bike. Reinserting the battery is the opposite. First, ensure the locking pin is in its unlocked position, then slide the battery back onto its plastic rails and into its position. After you've installed the battery, lock it with the key to keep it secure on the trike. The battery can be charged using the charge port on the right side of the battery, whether it's installed on the bike or it's been removed. The TK1 uses a single-speed drivetrain with a 36-tooth chainring and 18-tooth freewheel. This limited gearing only allows for a comfortable pedal cadence up to approximately 10 miles per hour. As I approached the top speed of 16 miles per hour, I was pedaling uncomfortably fast, with very little resistance. I found pedaling to be uncomfortable on this bike in most circumstances. The only thing I enjoyed was the 24 magnet cadence sensor, which was fairly responsive to input. This was pleasant for getting started. Because of the trike's weight, I often used the throttle to get the bike going because I didn't really like pedaling it. The TK1 uses a set of generic dual-piston hydraulic brakes from the Chinese brand 5 Star. This is a cheap set of hydraulic brakes, but despite the low price, they come equipped with 180mm rotors and they have a pretty pleasant lever feel. The brakes on the TK1 are unique because both the front and the rear lever feature a lock. This can be applied to keep the brakes on and ensure that the bike does not move when it's parked. I found the brakes to be reasonable at lower speeds. Since the trike can only travel 16 miles per hour and it uses 3 points of contact, its stopping distance was much shorter than other bikes that we've tested. The Mooncool TK1 rides on a set of 20 by 3 inch Chow Yang tires with a light mountain style tread. They offer a good mix of light roll resistance and traction. And the bike doesn't really lend itself to riding off-road because of that uncomfortable riding position over uneven terrain. So the tires only really need to perform well on pavement, and possibly some light gravel applications. The tires do not have puncture protection, which would be a nice feature to see, and they're also not tubeless ready. However, this is probably going to matter very little because riders looking for a trike are probably not going to want to do a tubeless conversion. The TK1 has a large rear rack with a cargo basket and a large front basket. This allows it to carry lots of cargo, with easy loading in the low rear basket. The rear basket also has a cargo net to hold items inside of that basket. The trike has aluminum fenders for all 3 wheels as a standard item. It also has a bright headlight and a rear light with a braking indicator and turn signals. Looking at the touch points and starting with the grips, the plastic grips on the bike are not the most comfortable, but they do operate fine. Swapping them may be challenging because the right side grip is integrated into that half-twist throttle. The saddle is a comfort padded saddle, which was pleasant to use. It offered a comfortable platform that did not get very uncomfortable even after 30 miles. The pedals are a set of aluminum platform pedals. They offered a fine platform for the bike and can be easily upgraded for more comfort. The TK1 is a large trike, with a specific audience in mind for its general use. The trike is a good match for those looking for a low-speed cargo trike, which will be effortlessly balanced compared to an e-bike. The trike was different to ride, with some qualities that I found unenjoyable. It fulfills its core functions well, offering stable riding and ample cargo capacity. I enjoyed features like the locking brakes, which made it easy to stabilize the bike for loading cargo. So if you're looking for a cargo trike to help you out around the neighborhood, the Mooncool TK1 may be a viable option for you. Is this bike for you? Check out the detailed specs at BikeRide.com and see user and expert reviews. You can also check out other great e-bikes and see them rated to find your perfect match. Do you have a question or something you want to say? Let me know in the comments and we will start getting you some answers. And if you like this video, give us a like and subscribe so that we can keep on bringing you the latest e-bike reviews and news. I'm Scott with BikeRide.com. I want to say thanks for watching and I hope that you enjoy the ride.